Good morning everybody, it's Belinda here from Visualised again. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's the first time you're joining us. I've got a little activity today that might help you pass the time during this period of self-isolation for however long it's going to last. I find it very calming, very enjoyable, very little stress involved, or no stress. Quite therapeutic in a way. Hands up, I know I can't see you, but hands up those who grew up as a child cutting out things out of magazines or newspapers, wherever it is, and gluing them into what we used to call a scrapbook. I certainly did. We had the Listener back when we were growing up. We didn't have newspapers typically, but we had what was called the Listener. It's still around today. And we used to, as the three of us, 3 children, I was the youngest, we used to sit and cut out things. So often I got the leftovers, being the youngest, but pictures of our favourite actors from the TV listings. Whatever we liked, whatever caught our eye, we'd cut out and glue into a scrapbook. That's kind of what we're doing, but we're stepping it up and becoming a bit more arty with it. So this activity has a name called Glue Books, and you might have heard it, you might have seen the name around Facebook or wherever. So Glue Books, their humble beginning starts with what we used to do as children, just cutting out random things, whatever we liked, and gluing it into a scrapbook. So similar concept, but because we're stepping it up, we put a bit more thought into it. It's not going to be just a random hodgepodge of whatever we like stuck into a book. We're going to actually put some thought into it, put some of our artistic eye into it, and create pages that, yes, have things that we like, but have a cohesion and have a layout that we like, that is more art-like. So in this activity, you can take it as far, keep it as simple, or take it as far as you like. So you can do the random thing on a page, fill it up with whatever you like, and call it done. If that's what makes you happy, I encourage you, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to challenge yourself to create something a bit more artistic, to be more creative with this, rather than just cutting and gluing, and believe me, cutting and gluing, somehow it's just fun. Like, just doing that is fun. But I want to encourage you to take it to that next level. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a book to glue your pictures into. So I've made up this journal. This is a cover of a magazine, a nice sort of cardstock one. And I really like the holographic writing. It's quite cool. But I will cover this at some point. And so you can make one up like this, like a journal style. You can grab an old book, you can grab a magazine and glue it into the pages of a magazine. You can have a children's scrapbook, you can still buy them, just with the newsprint style pages or white pages, whatever you like. You can literally use anything you like as your base, because you're going to be covering it in pictures. So it doesn't matter what is on the page underneath. So grab yourself something that you can glue into. If you use something like an old book, then you're going to want to tear out some pages as you go along, because adding paper on top of paper is going to thicken it up. So probably for every 2 or 3 pages that you glue images on, you want to take 2 or 3 pages out, just so it doesn't become unclosable. So whatever you like to use as your base, and you certainly make something like I did. You will need scissors. So I've got my big pair of scissors for doing the big lines, straight lines, and then I've got my little pair of, I think they're actually embroidery scissors, but I'm not sure, don't know where they came from. I've been using them for quite a while. They're the little ones that I use for fussy cutting around small pieces. So really small, you can see, very fine tip, good for getting into the corners. If you don't have them, don't worry, it's fine, just use whatever you've got. But I typically use these. If you've got something in between, great, doesn't matter, just use scissors. You'll need glue stick, and you'll probably need quite a few glue sticks, so I hope I don't run out. I can always get my husband to pick some up when he does the grocery shopping next anyway. But so you'll need a glue stick, essential, because you need to glue your pages down. I don't recommend anything other than a glue stick. Glue stick's clean, it's easy, it doesn't buckle your pages. It's just the best. However, if you don't have glue sticks, if you don't have access to glue sticks, then use whatever glue you've got. You'll need something to glue on. So this is the thing that catches the glue. So if you take sorry for the shadow, I'm just reaching for a picture. So if you've got your picture here and you're going to glue that onto your page, you want to glue on the back. So the surface is what's going to catch your runoff of glue. So just pretend I've got the lid off and I'm covering the back in glue. All that glue that goes over the edge is going to be caught on this paper. And when it gets too sticky, I just rip the page out, fold it in half, and I use it as to make other things with, like journaling cards or pockets. So you can use anything. You can use junk mail, old recycled paper, whatever you like, just something to catch the glue. I don't know if I can get to see. You can just see some shiny spots. That's where I've glued on it. So that was yesterday and it's all dry now. So I will continue using that page for a bit until it's all sticky. Now the next thing you need is a drink. Yeah, come on, because you need to, relax, enjoy it. So grab a cuppa. I've got mine there. And you'll need a pile of magazines. So I've got a pile here. I've got some more on the floor beside me. You don't necessarily need that many magazines. You could do with one or two. You can also use junk mail, newspapers. What else can you use? Junk mail, newspapers and magazines. Whatever's got images or text in, you can use. So grab things, even old books. If you've got an old book that's falling apart, tatty, past its days, no one's going to want to read because it's in such bad condition. Think old children's books, things like that. You can certainly harvest stuff from those as well. So now that you've got your supplies together, let's look at how to step it up, how to make it arty and have fun in the process. Because I must admit I hadn't done any glue books for probably about 6 months, any glue book work, and I knew I wanted to do this. I was actually going to make it a class for my shop, but we'll just go with the video instead. And we're on lockdown now, so I sat down and I was thinking, right, I want to get this glue book topic sorted and get something out there for my class people. And it took me probably a day and a half before I could get my head into gear, because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to do a glue book. I had some vague ideas of concepts that I wanted to do, but I just couldn't quite get there. And I think it was just all the change in routine, all the background stuff going on about COVID-19, and that stress over how the shop was going to cope, being shut, all those sorts of things going on. So it took me a wee while. So I do recommend it as a de-stressing activity because I feel a lot better now. But once I got going, I struggled on the first page I did, but once I got going, it's like I haven't stopped. It's all I've done in between eating, sleeping, catching up on Facebook, all those things. That's all the creative activity I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 days. So it is fun. So the first page I did, I just started with something simple. I'm just going to find it here. Was a simple collage one, this one here. So what I've done is found bits of green in a magazine. So I've flicked through multiple pages, just torn out little pieces that are green and collaged the background. And then I found bits of red, so I got them in little pieces of clothing and advertisements with strawberries in, with a interior design book that's actually a chair, from a chair, that bit and that bit. So bits of red, and this darker red around the edge, that was a border. A couple of pages had this dark red border around it. So anything that's the colour that I wanted, I tore out, and then I tore them into pieces and collaged into a heart shape. So you can see it's quite rustic, it's not rounded, it's very angular, very piecemeal, and just that simple collage of a shape. And then I just found some words that I like. So it says artist in residence up here and love it down here, and they're just phrases I found in a magazine. So that was the first page I did that kicked off, and then I could start excuse me, I'll just have a drink of my coffee. An humbug. That sorry, I don't know what's happening. Hopefully it's gone now. That's what kickstarted me off, and from there I went to a very conceptual page, which is one of the more difficult things to do, and I'll just find it. Yep, here it is. Try and not get the shine. There we go. So I found this picture of the woman in an advertisement, and then I collaged her here for the rest of the page above in various fruits. So I went through probably 2 magazines looking for any pictures of fruit I could, and then I started layering them up and arranging them how I wanted them, and then added some text, which was another ad which says, if it focuses, boldly going beyond tradition. So I really love that page, love how it turned out. And doing a conceptual page, like I said, is one of the more difficult ones, so I'd put that at the highest level of difficulty. 1, having the concept, and 2, finding the bits that you want to go with it. So a conceptual page can be like this, where you have somebody and do something wild with their hair or their clothing or whatever. Or you can do a scene where you put different elements together to create like a fantasy scene. So you could find a horse and then find something that represents a horn and make it into a unicorn, and then find some clouds or something for it to fly through, or have it standing on a tree in the middle of a lake. You know, fantastic scenes. You can create whatever you like. So that's definitely at the top of the arty list. Other things you can do. This is the one I did last night, or yesterday afternoon. It took me a whole afternoon actually. As I found a whole lot of words and phrases in magazines. I cut out a lot more than what I actually put on the page, and then I created this spiral. So they actually arranged it goes across, down, across, up, and it just keeps spiraling around into the middle. And the words that I thought were uplifting, they were positive, they were art related or life related, words that I liked, and I tried to get different colours and different fonts and things to make it more interesting. So you can do that, or you could just you can arrange them however you like. I wanted to do a spiral because I wanted to challenge myself to do the layout. You could just put them across the page. You could leave gaps. You don't have to fill the complete page if you don't want to. You can leave gaps, but if you've got something underneath that could distract, then put something else in the background, collage a background first, or whatever's going to help your layout stand out. And then I've got another one in here, which is the one I did on, what are we now, Monday? I did Saturday night. And this is a theme page, and theme pages are fun. They're probably one of the funnest ways, funnest? Is that a word? Most enjoyable ways you can do a glue book is having a theme and finding whatever you can on that theme and putting it on a page. So the theme here is pink. Your theme could be literally anything. It could be a colour, or it could be a rainbow of colours. It could be something you love. Like I love horses, so I've been cutting out all these pictures of horses to do a layout with. You might have an object that you like. I'm trying to think of an object that is not something I personally like, but which you might like. Or if you like pigs, for example. Something else that's in a magazine. If you like pots of paint, this is one of my pages that I haven't done. It's just an advertisement on the page in my book. If you like pots of paint, then get lots of pots of paint images and collage with them. Whatever you like. It's a themed page. So object or thing, you could do a place. So images relating to, say, Italy or France or England or New Zealand. You could do, I'll just look at my list over here. You could do a monochrome, so black and white. I know this is basically monochrome being pink, but black and white. You could do, like I've done with the words, you can do letters. So I have done a whole page just with letters, the same letter. So finding every occurrence I could of, I can't think what the letter was. It's at the shop, it's not here, so I would have showed you otherwise. And you can fill up a whole book just doing a different letter every page. You can also do numbers the same way. You can do a page of flowers, a page of leaves, whatever you like on the theme, you can do a page on, whatever you can come up with. So there's some ideas for glue books. For the guys in my classes who regularly come, I'm going to be putting some stuff in the group for you. Otherwise, just get out there and have a crack. See whether you like it. See whether you enjoy this activity. I certainly do, and I know a number of other people do, because it's just relaxing, but it's also creative. So that's glue books for now. Hope you enjoyed this wee video, and if you didn't know about glue books before, I hope you feel like you've learnt something. Okay, have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!